You know that funny feeling when something seems off? That's what people who follow the royal family have felt for a while about Meghan Markle's pregnancies. From baby bumps that seem to vanish to strange ways she handled the news, folks have been whispering. But now those whispers are getting loud. A woman called DL just came forward with a huge story. She says she's the real mom of Archie and Lilibet. Yup, not just one kid, both of them. And she's tired of keeping it a secret. DL says a California agency hired her, promised it'd stay private, and kept her hidden while Meghan wore pregnancy clothes. DL claims she was the secret surrogate for both kids. If that's true, it changes everything. Meghan's whole image as a strong, independent royal mom starts to fall apart. And Harry? He's right in the middle of this mess. If DL's story is real, Harry either didn't know, which is hard to believe, or he knew and helped hide it. Let's go back for a second. Think about how private Meghan's pregnancies were. No pictures leaving the hospital like Kate had. No reporters waiting outside a fancy hospital wing. No news updates. Just a weird announcement about Archie's birth that came after he was supposedly already born. Remember that? Harry standing by a stable, talking like he was reading lines. Then Meghan showed up 2 days later, looking super slim. People thought she just got back to normal fast, but now they're wondering, did she even have those babies? Then there's this famous video from 2019. You've probably seen it. Meghan sits down in an interview, and her baby bump looks like it folds. Not just wrinkles, but folds. That video got people talking for years, starting the moon bump idea, saying she wore fake bellies to pretend she was pregnant. Back then, it sounded like a crazy theory. But now with DL speaking up, those internet detectives don't seem so wild. DL's story is crazy, but super detailed. She talks about medical papers, hospital bills, and signed secret agreements. She says she was kept alone during both pregnancies to avoid news leaks, then pushed away after the babies were born. No thanks, no money, just quiet. She says Meghan wore a fake belly, practiced her public moments, and made everyone believe something that wasn't true. And get this, when Archie's birth certificate came out, Meghan's real name, Rachel Meghan Markle, was gone. It was replaced with Her Royal Highness, the Duchess of Sussex. Palace people said it was just a mistake, but Meghan blamed the royals, saying it wasn't her choice. Now it looks like a sneaky move because if she didn't give birth, using her real name might have caused legal trouble. Online, people are going nuts about this. They're watching videos frame by frame. They're comparing pictures of Meghan's pregnancy. One day her bump looked huge, the next it was barely there. And don't forget the Morocco trip. She told someone she was 6 months pregnant just weeks after saying she was 5 months. Maybe a small mistake, but now it feels like a planned trick. This isn't just about how things look. It's about whether 2 kids in the royal family are legit. That's a big deal beyond gossip and social media. DL, the woman, isn't staying quiet anymore. In her first TV interview, she looked right at the camera and said, "They promised me privacy and money. Instead, they erased me." That one sentence got everyone talking, on news and online. She says during both pregnancies, she stayed in a private house near Los Angeles with staff, no phones, no contact, just quiet. Her job was to carry the kids while Meghan acted the part on camera. DL says it was all super planned. Doctors visited weekly, and she signed strict agreements that scared her into silence. After Lilibet was born, she never saw either kid again. No pictures, no updates, just nothing. And she realized she was never meant to be part of the story. Meghan had already filmed stuff, set up moments, and had people controlling what the world saw. And then there's Prince Harry. DL says he knew everything from the start. She claims he even visited her once to say thanks and gave her a thank you letter. But here's where it gets messy. If Harry knew and let everyone believe a fake pregnancy story, it's not just a personal lie. It could be a big royal scam. The royal family isn't just a famous group. It's a legal system with rules about who's next in line. Questions about Archie and Lilibet's births aren't just gossip. They hit at the heart of royal rules. DL's claims are making legal experts ask a big question. Can kids born through a secret surrogate even have royal titles if no one was told the truth? Social media is going wild. Meghan's fans say this is all nonsense, a mean plan to ruin her. But even her biggest supporters are getting quiet. For the first time, big accounts that backed her are asking for clear answers. If it's all fake, why isn't Meghan saying so? Why isn't she taking it to court? Why no video or statement? Her silence feels less like a plan now and more like worry. Meanwhile, Harry's falling apart behind closed doors. Royal insiders say he's yelling at staff, ignoring friends, and can't control the story spinning around him. Some say he feels trapped, not just by the public, but by Meghan too. Things are tense at home. They're sleeping in separate rooms, barely talking, and arguing all the time privately. Meghan's focused on saving her image and watching the news, while Harry's stuck between loyalty and fear. One insider said Harry begged Meghan to speak out, but she said no, thinking that admitting to a surrogate makes it real. The biggest shock? DL says she'll take a DNA test. She's ready to go on record, give samples, and talk in court. That's something no one saw coming. Actual proof? If that happens, everything falls apart. The palace is in super quiet crisis mode. No statements, no leaks, just silence. But legal advisors are having emergency meetings to figure out what happens if DL's story is true. The pressure is huge. In their fancy Montecito home, Meghan's trying to fix things. But there's only so much you can do when your whole public story starts breaking. Her perfect mom image, once loved in news and Netflix shows, is now being picked apart as maybe just a big act with planned photos, fake interviews, and what people are calling a trick with her belly. That video of her bump folding keeps popping up. Once called a weird camera angle or clothing oops, it's now being used as proof number one. Fashion people who loved her pregnancy style are now quiet, not wanting to talk about those weird moments. One day her bump looked big and round, the next it seemed to shrink or move. People don't think it's a coincidence anymore, they think it's planned. While Meghan stays silent, her old friends are backing away. A stylist from a pregnancy shoot hinted in an interview that things weren't what they seemed. A former worker, keeping their name secret, said, "There were talks about weird stuff with the pregnancies, but Meghan's team wouldn't let anyone ask questions. If you asked, you were gone." This mess has reached Buckingham Palace, and they can't pretend it's not happening. The drama's gotten to the palace, and they're looking at royal rules, especially about who's next in line. If Archie and Lilibet were born through a surrogate and no one told the royal family, it messes up the rules about who gets to be king or queen. Royal experts say this has never happened before in modern royal history. No lie this big has ever gotten so close to the throne. There's talk about taking away titles. Nothing final yet, but insiders say advisors are making backup plans, including removing royal status and keeping distance. One person said straight up, "The royal family can't look like they're okay with a lie, especially if it's about the royal bloodline." Meanwhile, DL has gotten lawyers. Her team is preparing official statements and pushing for a TV interview under oath. She says she kept copies of emails with the surrogacy agency, medical scans, and proof of the births. Her lawyers say her story was hidden and her identity erased, breaking California laws. What's really bad is Meghan's silence. This is someone who sued newspapers, fought back against headlines, and called out lies right away. But now, nothing. No tweets, no statement, no posts. When famous people go quiet in a big news storm, that silence says something. Harry's response isn't helping either. He's reportedly super stressed out. Friends say he's not sleeping, not eating, and questioning everything. Some say he wasn't okay with the plan, but felt stuck. One friend said he thought he was protecting Meghan. Now he's the one who needs help. The saddest part is the kids. If DL is telling the truth, Archie and Lilibet are stuck in the middle of a big lie. They're part of a story meant to make Meghan and Harry look good. Their place in the royal family is being questioned, and their future with the royals is uncertain. This isn't just a news craze, it's a huge problem for their trustworthiness. Meghan and Harry said they were treated badly by the royals, but now they're the ones being called out for lying, manipulating, and maybe even fraud. People aren't just asking questions anymore, they want answers and proof.